Hi friends, and happy Trap Day to all those who celebrate. M. Night is back. I have to say this up front. I am such a lover of M. Night. I know he has some hits and misses. I am not denying that. But what I really love about his films, even though he has done adaptations of books, they're always unique stories. And I'm hoping Trap is no different. I've been lucky enough not to watch the trailer, even though it's been shoved down all of our throats, I'm sure. This is a crime horror mystery. It's about a father and a teen daughter that enter a pop concert only to realize that there is a killer on the loose. We've got Josh Hartnett, Alison Pill, Kid Cudi. I love Kid Cudi. I loved him so much in X. I don't know how much of this film he's gonna be in, but I am very excited for Kid Cudi. And this film also stars one of M. Night's daughters as the singer, Salika Shyamalan, and she in real life is a singer-songwriter, so I'm thinking there's a little bit of nepotism going on here, but you know what? I don't mind. I'm very excited to see it as a family affair. It's his film and that is cool with me because M. Night finances most of his films himself independently, even though this film is being distributed by Warner Bros. In fact, they were in the middle of production when the strike started and they could still keep going because they had a separate agreement with M. Night financing the film himself. My hopes and expectations for this film, it's unique, it has some twists, M. Night, come on. And then of course, Josh Hartnett gets a lot of screen time because that's why we're all going, right? Let's get straight to it. I'm gonna let you know whether you should catch this one in cinemas. It is expensive to go to the cinemas today, and I'm gonna let you know whether it's worth your time. I'm gonna do this spoiler free. Let's go. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am so glad that I did not watch the trailer for that one because a lot of people did tell me that the trailer gives away something that was very integral to how you view the film, and I have such mixed feelings on this film, and I'm gonna keep this spoiler free, but it is one that can be spoiled really easily, so if you have not watched the trailer yet, keep watching, but I would say avoid it at all costs because it really is the best payoff that way. But this film is literally set, not literally, but it feels like it's set in some kind of fantasy land where the rules do not apply. It has so much inconsistencies. It's so badly paced. It was such a weird movie. It has definitely horrific elements, but it's more of a tense ride, and it's funny. It's so funny and intentionally funny. I'm not saying it's bad funny. It actually has kind of like a wit and humor about it, and I was cackling. It was so funny, and I was not expecting any of that. But above all, even though it's a lot, and we will get into it, Josh Hartnett carries this film. He is so good. This was such a well-cast film for him. He does amazing. So if you are a Josh Hartnett fan, he delivers. He delivers, and it's worth seeing it for him and him alone. This movie is about a father who takes his daughter to go to a concert. There are so many weird inconsistencies or just strangeness. Maybe I don't know what it's like going to a concert with a 13-year-old, but they keep getting up and leaving during the concert and all this weird stuff. Anyway, there is a killer in the building and chaos ensues. I'm not going to go into the storyline because probably the best part of this film is watching that unravel. Although this film, it only goes for an hour and 45 minutes, but it was so strangely paced, especially everything within the concert and the duration of the concert. I talked earlier about M. Night's daughter being Lady Raven. This is where the pacing issue starts. A lot of what we see and experience in this film feels like a concert movie. They really focus on her performance. And if you think about any movie or TV show that features a concert as part of the storyline or the more of the location where it takes place in that one episode, or, you know, something that they do in the movie. It doesn't really match that atmosphere. It feels like it shares the plot with the movie. So it's the movie plot and then half of it is the concert, and you're experiencing an actual concert at the same time. You're watching a lot of dancing, almost complete songs. The tense atmosphere is kind of lost in those moments where it's not theatrical and on the spot with how the family that we're following are feeling. And Salika Shyamalan, she is a fantastic performer. I can understand why she would be involved in this, and it probably is formed around the idea of her concert, what, you know, how this story was made. Maybe, possibly. It could be inspired by her. And she is great what she does. There's no ifs, whats about it. Her voice is beautiful, but she cannot act. I did not believe a word that came out of her mouth, and I feel awful saying that, but I'm really being brutally honest, obviously, and I have to be honest with that. She shouldn't have been the focus of this film. If it was to have so many parts of her, like even on mic in between songs and all of that kind of thing, you do get to learn about her a little bit. If it was just her in the background and they were at a concert and that was more of the focus, that would be fine. But because this film really focuses so much of it on her performance and her as an artist, it didn't work for me. That part didn't work for me. And because it's meant to be a nail-biting situation, I wish they just focused on that aspect. At the core of it, I know M. Night always wants to say something with his films, and I do think that this is a lot about the father and daughter and their dynamic, but I really do feel like that this film has the least amount to say out of any of his films, and that's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. But I do want to prepare you. There are so many inconsistencies with reality and how things would actually happen, which is fine. Suspension of belief. It's a horror movie. We're always going to do that. But it does it over and over and over again. So much that I felt myself sighing towards the end of the film because the scenes, they just keep coming and he doesn't know how to end this film. I feel like he wanted to say something meaningful, and it just didn't have it in it. It was just a popcorn horror, and that is totally fine. But in that, you need to make sure it hits the tone of that, being slick and sharp and always keeping the audience on the edge of their seat. If it's a drama horror, if it's meant to be slow, if it's meant to be chilling, it's a completely different atmosphere. So I feel like there was a little bit of a mashup of a lot of things going on here, and by the time you try and say something of meaning towards the end of the film, it's already lost the audience because we're sitting in these performances and it's tense and then it's not. I have to say, I didn't mention her at the start because I didn't know who was playing what roles. I didn't look into it too much. I wanted to go in blind. Thank God I did. But Ariel Donahue, who plays the daughter in this film, is fantastic. I think she was really good. She really played the role of a really excited 13-year-old, and I believed her. I thought her and Josh Hartnett also had really good chemistry. I wouldn't say much even for the family, the rest of the family. It was just a strange situation to throw people in where I felt like everything got to a point where it was so over the top and so unbelievable what was happening. This film is almost like a journey film where we start somewhere and there is a lot to explore. It goes quite far, but because of that and because of the pacing issues, I actually think it would have worked better as a series and ending on a cliffhanger each time with maybe a couple more twists kind of thrown in there, because it's a lot to go through so many tonal shifts during one film. Overall, this isn't the claustrophobic psychological crime horror I expected. It's more of a tongue-in-cheek, interesting perspective horror, and I did enjoy seeing where M. Night would take it. I will not take it away from him. This was unique, and it always is unique. Whether it hits or misses, it's always unique. So I do give him props for that. And Josh Hartnett is truly the best part of this film. I think he was fantastic. Even with Josh Hartnett, I'm going to give this film a 5 out of 10. And I was not expecting that. Sometimes when I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about how I like the film at that time. And this film, just as the time kept rolling, it was going downhill really fast. And I just could not believe where it ended up. I'm kind of shocked by that. For originality, I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. I think it was really original. The structure, not so much the characters, but the way they're portrayed and just the journey of it all. I do think it's a really good concept having a concert and this mayhem going on there. I thought that was very modern. It's very relatable for some people, but it almost was too much about the concert. And for scare, I don't think that this film is that scary at all. It definitely has horror elements, but I found it more to be a kind of like a tongue-in-cheek horror. I don't think I'd call it a comedy horror, but the comedy does shine through as some of the best parts of it, I think. And everyone was laughing out loud. At points you're meant to as well. It's not bad funny, it's just silly funny. And intentionally. So I would probably give it a 2 for scare. Anyway, that is what I thought. I'm so sad. That is what I thought of Trap. Thank you guys for listening to me. I hate this part of what I do when I have to be honest with my thoughts, and if you loved it, I'm very happy for you. I'm so happy for you, trust me. But it's really important that I'm honest in everything I talk about. Trust me, I didn't want to do this. Just a reminder, I will not be reviewing Cuckoo. It is not coming out near me anytime soon. So I'm just getting ahead and letting you know. Unfortunately, I can't cover that. But we'll be back very soon. There's a lot more horror this month and I cannot wait. If you want to check out what is coming out on VOD, here is my video on that. And also, if you want to check out my wrap up of everything I watched last month with lots of recommendations and some more rants, here you go. Enjoy. I'll talk to you guys all very soon. Bye, friends.